Hey guys, yeah, my internet's a bitch too, so this might be really choppy, or it might like cut out, might kick you off, it might crash the internet. Okay, looks like the internet's doing alright for now. Hopefully this sounds good to everybody. That's kind of why I wanted to do this, was to see if this is going to work on this computer, or if I'm going to have to use the big one. I'm just using my little laptop. I can hear it. It's under duress. It's really, I can hear the fan. It's going full blast. I'm pretty sure I'm using about 80% of my resources, something like that, maybe more. Poor little guy. Alright, so I guess I better get started with this. Cheryl, thanks for coming out. Just had to get a little drinky. Okay, so the for all one viewer that's watching right now, basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a pre-write, and then I'm going to basically brainstorm. I have no idea what I'm going to write about for the next 28 days, so I'm basically just off the cuff. So if you have any suggestions, I can write them down. I'm basically going to make a little list of ideas and then just go from there. And that is going to be the meat of the story. What I'd like to do today is I'd like to um, think of a few main characters, basically what the plot is going to be, and then I'm going to split it up into three acts. The three acts are going to be, Act 1, 2, 3. Just like in a play or really any kind of story, there's usually three acts. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you have any suggestions, type them in the chat. Hopefully we can get some more people over here. Not very many people I know like writing or books. So this is kind of just me doing this myself, but it's going to be fun just to record it, have it on YouTube, something I can look back on when I'm old and gray. And so yeah. Hi Grayson, how you doing, buddy? He's kind of watching. He's thinking, who would watch somebody type? That's weird. Yeah, I know what that's like. 2-year-old before. Actually, mine's 7 now, and he still doesn't have an attention span, so it is what it is. Alright, so the frame rate just dropped to nothing, so you guys might see some hiccuping here and there. I apologize. If you have any ideas, don't be afraid. Just shout them out. The struggle. The struggle's real already. Big city government takeover. Yeah, I'm not going to type that for fear of offending the Supreme Leader Trump. Oh, I just said it. See, I'm in trouble now. Yeah, this is just streaming, Cheryl. That's how it is. Chats do take forever. But any stream you watch, it's going to be the same. Murder mystery would be kind of weird because um, basically, I mean, if you're watching me write a murder mystery, it's not really a mystery. So, however, it would be a lot of fun for everybody else um, to I don't know, possibly read this murder mystery. Revengeful, vindictive people. I may know a few of those. I like writing about people like I think that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily consider. Like for instance, I went on a cruise recently, and there's people who literally live on those cruises. That's their life experience. And there's other people like that around the world that just have these like weird settings, weird jobs, that kind of thing. It's interesting to just take a person and put them in these weird situations because they're still just people, just like everybody else. But to see how they react to it. Something scary would be cool. Um, I feel like scary is hard to do. It's hard to be scary. And I'm going to have to fly through this thing. 1,700 words a day. I have some notes over here. All these just random things. I wanted to write about a space nomad. Wouldn't that be interesting? Maybe a clown. Entertainer. Maybe a space entertainer. Adult entertainer. Millions of spiders. 50,000 words on millions of spiders everywhere. Closet clown, huh? Sociopathic X. I really like the time traveling gorillas rig the election cycle. That would be a fun write. Here's one thing that I noticed that I kind of I kind of hover towards, like, every time I start writing, it's either somebody who's a writer or an artist or even a musician. I'm not a musician, but I guess I kind of identify with people who are musicians because I have a lot of musician friends, I guess. So um, I've brainstormed with other people even on certain things, and it always hovers back to music for some reason, which I think is interesting. I know there's a few books out there that have to do with music, how it influences their lives directly. Um, and it's weird because it's a book and it has to deal with music. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Orphan Kids, so like Oliver Twist type thing. Can it be an action story like, what is that, Four Brothers? Remember that movie, Four Brothers? They're all orphans and their mom, like a mom raised them. I don't even know how she got clearance. Like, I'm pretty sure there's like government regulation that says you can't raise four orphans. Uh, I'm pretty sure that lady would have had to made at least 250 grand, something like that, in order to raise four kids. I think that's the word. Bildungsroman Roman is a word. It means a novel dealing with one person's formative years or spiritual education. So, clergyman jokes aside, yeah, sure. Four Brothers. It's got my boy Mark Wahlberg in it, and he's got three other brothers, and they kill people a lot. That's not bad, actually. Okay, so here's what we got. Entry-level orphans fight against clowns and time-traveling gorillas who are trying to rig the election cycle, and they become friends with a celebrity who has an issue with millions of spiders everywhere. I know that's the mariachi or Desperado. Have you ever seen Desperado? Desperado is it's got Antonio Banderas and he's a mariachi. He's basically a musician, small town musician, moves to a big city, lots of drugs everywhere, drug cartels. He kills them all. Good story. That's it. That's the range of everything you've seen in your entire life is Gilmore Girls and One Tree Hill. I've seen neither of those. I don't even know what those are. All right. So we got what? Four orphans? Okay, so two or three siblings grow up and you show them growing up. So one of them could be that's perfect. They all run around dressed as gorillas. Yeah, the election is a pretty big thing right now, isn't it? Um, it is crazy the representatives or the elector I don't know the electorals right now who are running. It's not who necessarily you would have thought, and it's kind of worrisome. I feel like it's kind of like just glued in the back of everybody's mind because it's so nerve wracking right now. Oh god, Clown Lord. Nice. Alright, Cheryl. You piqued my interest with the orphans thing. I think we're going to do that one. One's a musician, entry level worker, and one is just looking for his or her family. Maybe is like a vagrant or a transient or something. Or maybe made it okay. Maybe has a family, something like that. But they're growing up. That's right. Um, it could be interesting. I have a cousin who was actually adopted, and well, he's actually older. He's like a second cousin, but he joined the military, and he actually did really good for himself. And I don't know if he ever met his real family or not, but he definitely was really appreciative for being adopted, I guess. Yeah, they can be adults. That's what I was kind of thinking. Is we don't necessarily have to show them as children at first. We could do the adults part in the first act, and then show them as children maybe in the second act, and then maybe show them as adolescents in the third act, and maybe make some points there. Maybe they don't aren't like really close anymore, and you can show in their adolescence when they branch off and kind of go their own way, or maybe they could have a strong bond, and that's what it shows. Be pretty interesting, right? That's a good idea too. Is see, I thought that they were all maybe adopted by the same person. Maybe if I spelled adults right. I don't know much about orphanages, and it would take a little bit of research just to kind of see what mindset somebody in an orphanage would be in. Maybe they get into the foster care, and I hear that's just never fun. So maybe show them as adults, and maybe show them as maybe like a brief uh, idea of what they were as children in the orphanage. Maybe they were adopted. Maybe they were adopted by the same people. Could be a celebrity. Living the life of the rich and famous. The musician. Okay, so are these all boys or girls? Is it a mix? Is the musician? What are the names? Who are they? Are they black, white? Are they Mexican, Chinese? Where did Fritz come from? China 1923. I'd have to read like 7 books on 20th century China. Entry level, Sam. Boom. Is Sam short for Samuel or is Sam short for Samantha? Samson. Joe, you got a thing for those names ending in SON, don't you? How do you pronounce that? Savi? Savvy? Savi? I think it's Savi, isn't it? You didn't even notice that? Was that a joke? So we got Fritz, Samson, and Savi. Savi is female, right? Savannah. Fritz. What is Fritz? Is that just his name? No joke, yeah. So it's Fritz. Is that like a shortening of his last name? Like Fritz Patrick or something? Fritzy? Hi, Mandy, by the way. Thanks for joining us and your China 1923 comment. Okay, so that's Fitzgerald. And then what's the first name? Like Fergie? It's probably Ferguson, right? Something like that. But she goes by Fergie. Got Fritz. Mario? Mario Fitzgerald. It's a me, Mario. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you made it up, Mario Fitzgerald. Whatever, man. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna more people up in here. Possibly crash my computer. Poor little thing. I can hear it working so hard right now. Right now. Oh god, I knew you were gonna say that, Mandy. Hey, how's the video, like, how's the quality, guys? Is it good? Is it, like, really choppy? Because I went and checked it, and it was looked really bad for me. Yeah, I don't want to go into the realm of transgender or transvestite. I'll leave that to somebody else who has a stronger stomach, I guess. It's choppy and blurry. Okay. I'm probably, can you at least read it? Has the hiccups? Yeah, it's probably because I'm on Wi-Fi. I'm probably gonna have to use a dedicated line, or I'm gonna have to switch to the other computer. Um, but that's one of the reasons I wanted to just kind of stream this on like a day zero type thing, is just to kind of play around with the settings and everything. This being the first time I've ever streamed, really. Yours isn't blurry, Mandy? Okay. Thanks, Cheryl. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to hang out. You actually contributed a lot to the story, so this is kind of your baby now. But yeah, I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Um, I did look at the stream. I'm looking at it on my tablet right now, and it doesn't look bad. So it is a little delayed though. That's kind of weird. All right. So Mandy, we're not doing transvestites. I'm sorry. We will do orphans. That's heartbreaking enough. Um, I think it would be hard enough to even write that. I mean, just delving into the psyche of an orphan, I can't imagine. It's got to be a rough life. They're not blood related. They're orphans. They could even be different nationalities or different races. They're definitely different genders. Savannah being female. Oh, you got DSL. I didn't even know that was a thing anymore. I didn't know people still had DSL. Okay, so we got Fritz, Sam, and Savvy, Savannah. So Savvy. Pretty cool names. So as adults, maybe we'll just show them in their respective. Um, basically, in their Sam is black. Okay. Simpson is kind of a. I don't know. I guess that would seem like a black guy name to me. I don't know. And Savannah, is she? Yeah, what is she? Is she just um, like who is she? You know, Fritz is a musician, so that's. I mean, he's usually musicians are a certain personality type. Fritz is Korean. His name is Mario Fitzgerald, and he's Korean. That'd be crazy. No, they're not going to turn out as siblings. They're basically how do I put this? Like they're basically siblings in fraternal bondage. I don't know. They're siblings based because they grew up together in the orphanage and they kind of fell their separate ways after being raised after their formative years. They all have to. Well, yeah. Well, they're not all going to be the same color. They're all going to be different because they're orphans. Okay. Mario is Italian, but his last name is Fitzgerald because he was adopted by Fitzgeralds, right? Which could be like a like an Irish family, Irish American family. Well, they can't all be black. Yeah, I get it. They're orphans. Well, guys, I'm not trying to be politically correct. I'm just trying to write the story of possibly three orphans, American orphans, possibly. Um, Mario Fitzgerald, I mean, if you want him to be Korean, if you want the musician to be Korean, we at least have to change his name because that doesn't make any sense. Um, unless his parents are cruel and wanted to name him some just crazy off the wall shit. Erotica. Everybody's going to erotica. You know, there's a thing called like pandering to the masses or pandering to the crowd. 50 Shades of Orphans. I don't even know what to say to that. All right. So anyway, Mario is Italian American, or at least I don't know. That's what he establishes at least. But he was adopted by the Fitzgeralds. Obviously, dungeons, like erotic dungeons. He's adopted by the Fitzgeralds. He obviously has a good relationship with his adopted or surrogate parents because he takes on their name as his stage name. So, or what if he doesn't have a good relationship and he names himself that in order to bring it to light, like he's some kind of socio-political musician. He surrounds himself in the things he hates to kind of have a better understanding of it or something. Something other than what it seems is interesting. I mean, we could write something like that. Could write something that, I mean, they're orphans. Like, what else? What other things could it not seem like? That would basically be a mystery, right? Dystopia is I like dystopias, but I feel like everybody's been doing dystopias lately. There's Hunger Games, and what is the other one? It's like Hunger Games. The I don't know, the Revenants or what? I don't know what it's called. It is tired. Um, I mean, I feel like a lot of people like dystopias because it kind of reflects the times. I do feel like subconsciously people realize that we're slowly losing our humanity. Divergent, yeah, that's the series. Maze Runner is one. Yep, blah blah. Maze Runner is another one. I haven't really seen the movies or read the books for Maze Runner. I haven't seen Divergent or read the books, and I hear they're not very good. Um, but I have read The Hunger Games. It wasn't bad. I definitely um, got a sense of what the author was trying to say. However, I feel like they kind of turned it into a money grab too. That's just my personal opinion. Um, I think they kind of cashed in on people's, feelings on that. You loved Divergent series or Maze Runner? I hear Maze Runner is pretty good. I know that a lot of people like those books. All right, so he based his stage name on his adoptive parents. Um, so what is his? Everybody has like something that's working against them. What is his weaknesses? Something along the lines of. Well, guys, I'm not trying to be political. Sorry. Basically, he's trying to. He's been. I don't know. He's been accelerated into the celebrity life. Maybe he's not acclimated to it. Maybe he had like a really bad experience being an orphan. Greedy. He could be greedy. Maybe a little impersonal. Maybe like he was the one who was always kind of, I guess, vindictive. His Ebonic slips. Money. He's greedy. He's money hungry because he grew up with nothing. He didn't learn any any humility from his tribulations as an orphan. He basically it just made him want to just spend as much money as possible. Maybe he spends himself out of money. Oh, manipulative. Okay. Or but most of his life he was an orphan. My guess is that they were adopted in their adolescence. And then maybe his grasp on fame is when they realized he was talented. Maybe his parents put him in some like remedial um, music classes, and from there, and then from the shut up me, I could hear myself on the tablet anyway. Maybe his sociopath. That would be interesting. Yeah, maybe not sociopath because I think sociopath is just like more or less an. I guess it would make sense because I mean, if you grew up with a lot of negative stimulation, maybe you would turn into a sociopath because you had to do what you could to manipulate to get what you want. He fakes his empathy. Okay, I was thinking more along the lines of um, he's just kind of losing his way. I don't think he's necessarily maybe a bad person. Um, Maybe he's showing traits of sociopathy, but he's not necessarily a sociopath. He fakes it and he knows it. So he's faking his empathy. He's faking the fact that he cares about things or people. He's emotionally distant because he was an orphan. Okay. So because he has fame, it only just provides more of an opportunity for him um, to act out his impulses. Right on, right on. Sure, it makes him act out his impulses more because he thinks that somehow it's this behavior making him that's making that's giving him this claim to fame and be able to cover for them. Well, I know there's some famous sociopaths out there. I'm trying to think what they did to cover for him. I don't think they really did. I think when he's try, I mean, you fake empathy. It's only when you're being manipulative. I think for a sociopath, right? They didn't really cover him up. It's more. It's very. You can tell that somebody is faking it and their behavior is that way because it doesn't fit within the norm, right? Interesting. This is really deep. I was thinking I was going to end up writing about a space nomad. I'm writing about a sociopathic orphan musician, which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. It's awesome. My cousin just goes, Landon was right. You need a girlfriend. Yeah, I must seem like sociopath have no conscience. Okay. But is there a degree of sociopathy? Is he completely just devoid of any kind of empathy? He would. He'd definitely be a villain. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I got called out. Yeah. Do I have time in my hands? Not really. But this is fun. This is a fun challenge, so I'm gonna keep going with it. See you, Mandy. You just went backwards by 20 minutes? Alright, well, I'm almost done. About an hour and a half is pretty good. We kind of got kind of a plot and some characters and talking about Mario. Right on. Savvy is struggling. There, how's that, Shirley? Like it? Sweet, thank you. Okay, well, I think that's it. I think we kind of have an idea of who the main protagonists are and what they're seeking. Um, oops. And also kind of what the settings are. Actually, we didn't really talk about the settings, but that's something we can always work out. We do know it's an orphanage. Uh, Mario is probably traveling around the country or the world, perhaps. Samson is just living the normal rural, factory worker life, maybe. Yeah, good talk. And then Savvy. Pretty cool names, too. Thank you. All right, so I think that's it for today. I'm going to pursue this more tomorrow for anybody who's watching this. And have a good night. And I'll be here tomorrow if you want to watch it. All right. See ya.